Welcome back, everybody. It's so nice to see you here again, hanging out with us for I can't do this if you're laughing! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of the NGSO Virtual Recital series. I hope you are as just excited as I am about the opportunity to share music with each other. Tonight, we have a really awesome lineup for you involving music all about going on a journey. So I'd really like to invite you all to strap in, grab a drink, grab a snack, get a blanket. Let's cozy up and hang out together as we listen to all this awesome music together. I'm going to hand the microphone off to Sam now, who's actually going to be emceeing this for us tonight. So please, Sam, take it away.
Well, for our first piece, the name of the game says it all, and yet not enough. Perhaps foremost in 2012's journey is the theme of adventure and journey, as the game opens with a beckoning light atop a distant mountain peak, and the player knows they must traverse every obstacle to reach it. But another important theme in Journey is friendship and cooperation, and so it's fitting that we begin tonight's musical selections with an ensemble performance, a rendition of Nascence by Austin Wintory, performed by Liz, Rachael, Jayne, Becca, and Luke. That was beautiful.
Thanks. That was fun to put together.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. That was gorgeous.
We'll definitely notice the improvement in videography, right?
Yes, I started working on this weeks ago, so I'm giving myself more than 2 hours. It's time to figure out how to use video editing software. It was fun.
Cool. Well, for our second piece tonight, will actually be introduced by Nina, I believe.
Yes, I forgot that I elected to introduce it. Good thing I wrote something. So I have a little dramatic paragraph to read. So, few moments in the history of gaming can almost universally evoke such a strong sense of nostalgia as the title screen from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Upon hearing Epona's hoofbeats and that first piano chord, Ocarina of Time instantly transports us to the magical land of Hyrule, where a timeless adventure is about to unfold. My selection of this piece reflects both the journey within the game as well as the journey of Legend of Zelda fans as they experienced their first 3D Zelda adventure back in 1997. So yeah, this is the title screen theme from Ocarina of Time.
That was ridiculous.
Some good ocarina playing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I didn't know you had an ocarina. So opened up
I
possibilities.
bought it literally for this.
Can you tell me about that twist technique?
Oh, yeah. So I wish I had it with me right now, but the ocarina I have is a double chamber. So it's actually a tenor and a soprano ocarina fused together. So the twist was to switch like mouth pieces, mouth holes, whatever. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. So it's like actually two whole different ocarinas built into one.
Cool.
Kind of cool. It's kind of tough to switch.
Well, moving on in our program, our third piece of the night comes to us courtesy of Nick, and I believe, Nick, you will be introducing this piece?
Yeah, just a short little introduction. So this is kind of a medley, I guess you would call it, of a few different songs from EarthBound, which is an RPG for the Super Nintendo. And when I was trying to pick a piece for this theme, I was going through music that was not only sort of fit the theme and was music that I liked, but was trying to decide on an instrumentation that I would be able to do, like that I was capable of doing within like what I have at my disposal, and also what would fit the music itself. And so I came to this. This was the sort of conclusion that I came to, and it was sort of an experiment of seeing what the EarthBound soundtrack would sound like on a Yamaha DX7, which is a keyboard from the 80s that uses FM synthesis. You might be familiar with the sound from a like most of the Sega consoles also had a sound chip that used FM synthesis, so it has a kind of similar sound. It's a little bit more or it can be a little bit more complex because just the way the DX7 works has a bit more depth to it. You can go a bit further with how complicated you can make sounds be. And so I decided to do that. I was just kind of curious, like, how would the EarthBound soundtrack sound with this sort of FM kind of basis to it instead of what they used on the SNES. And so this is how it came out. I'm not 100% sure if I'm like super in love with it, but there's certain aspects to it that are like, oh yeah, actually this kind of does work. Like I'd be curious to hear someone do like a full orchestration of the entire soundtrack for a DX7 or similar sort of FM chip. So yeah.
Oh man, I was ready for more.
Me too. I thought there was going to be like a third movement.
I could listen to that on loop, like
Thank you.
10-hour loop.
I never
Man.
played the game, but I imagine if I did, that's exactly what it would sound like.
I feel like the place I noticed the differences the most was in the bass tones. Like I feel like the bass was a lot richer.
Yeah, it definitely. There's certain things that were very close to the original. There's certain things that were like completely different, but still sounded like really good. Like the bass, like the DX7 is pretty well known for some of the bass tones it can do, and I think on the original it was like an acoustic bass kind of sample or electric bass sample, so it definitely had sort of a different timbre to it. But yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool. Might be cool to explore more of that in the future.
All right. Well, moving on to our fourth piece of the night is a piece from the Outer Wilds presented by Paul, and I believe you'd like to introduce this, right, Paul?
Yeah, in retrospective, I should have written something, but I'm just going to go by it. So The Outer Wilds is a game most famous for being consistently mixed up with The Elder Worlds, which is a very, very different game. The Outer Wilds is the epitome of exploration. You go through a short little introduction, shows you the moves, it gives you a spaceship, and there's no objective. It's just explore the solar system, learn about an ancient civilization, meet various NPCs called travelers, each playing their own instrument, and just unraveling the mysteries of the universe. And the piece you're about to hear is called The Traveler's Theme. And what's really cool about this piece is you never actually hear the entire piece together. You hear bits and pieces of the instruments that the various travelers are playing, and you can use that to find out where they are by using an item given to you. You never hear the song in its entirety until the end of the game. And really, it's just about a group of travelers on different planets coming together, lighting a bonfire before the impending heat death of the universe, and just having a good time. So, hope you go into that with this in mind and enjoy it.
That was really cool, Paul.
Thanks. If it wasn't obvious, I didn't have anyone playing the harmonica part, so I just put the guy from the game in there.
I loved that.
That's who he was.
But did you use your new foot tambourine?
Yes. I found out that it's very hard to play a cajon and lean back and play the foot tambourine at the same time. I kept falling words. So I kind of dubbed it over later.
Cool.
The foot tambourine was used on my hand, ironically.
It was appreciated. Well, moving on to our fifth piece of the night. So the Shining Force series is comprised of tactics RPGs that keep the player on their toes, not only when thinking of where to move next, but also where the music will take them. Motoaki Takenouchi masterfully weaves complex but catchy melodies over progressive rock-inspired odd rhythms and time signatures, akin to the likes of King Crimson, Yes, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. From mellow towns, foreboding castles, intense battles, and an epic overworld, Shining Force 2 is begging to jump off the Mega Drive and into the world of metal. So let's listen together as Ben plays Bowie's Bodacious Journey. That was most definitely bodacious, Ben.
Oh, thank you.
That was intense.
I loved the clean tone at the beginning, and that transition moment into the distortion was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. It was definitely
I like
a
the
little
comment.
different for me.
Yeah, I like the comment someone says, like, wow, that doesn't sound like Ben. And oh, there it is.
Did you hire Rick Wakeman for that synth solo in the middle?
Oh, that was a Native Instruments Pro 53.
Yeah.
I love that card. That's like my favorite synth sound ever.
Yeah, it's like classic mini Moog kind of sound.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a really simple one next entry because that one was just kind of a pain.
You say that now, but
Yeah,
you probably say that every time.
Yeah, just wait until your ambition catches up with you. Then you know.
yeah, I know. It depends on how long we have to break between the next one.
Well, we'll see. But moving on to our sixth piece of the night is a piece coming from Animal Crossing. So, what better way to celebrate Animal Crossing's belated 20th anniversary than to perform music from the series? So, in this particular installment of Animal Crossing New Leaf, you take on the great task of becoming the mayor of a small village with hopes of improving upon the quality of life. And even though you might be overwhelmed, you're comforted by the prospect of blossoming friendships with the locals. So this is the opening theme to your story as you turn over a new leaf, presented by Lexi, Rachael, and Nina. That was very nice.
Thank you.
I
It's
wanna-
my job to make sure that we have at least one Animal Crossing song on the program every time.
I want to comment because I failed to do this at both of my earlier opportunities. But Rachael, it's been great to see you in the performances here. And I also really appreciated that you had a leaf in the background of that performance.
Completely unintentional, but you're welcome.
And I
Looks
also want
very
to say, because
aesthetic.
I missed this earlier, but Josh, it was also great to see you play earlier in the recital as well, in non-MIDI form.
Thanks. That's the first I've dusted off the banjo in 10 years. Like, actually used it.
I'm sorry. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
But Lexi, I really appreciated seeing the Glock chords. That was very cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'd really love to get into more percussion stuff. Doing the glockenspiel thing has been a lot of fun for these videos, so I'd love to do more of that. But who knows where things will take me.
Yes, become a percussionist.
I want to.
Defection in the ranks. Well, so moving on to our final piece of the night. In 1997's Alundra, the eponymous hero undertakes diverse journeys across land, over rivers, through caves, and most significantly, into memories, dreams, and nightmares. But the tale commences with a voyage across the sea as Alundra embarks with the ship, the Clark, answering the summons of destiny by sailing away to a place he's never been. Tonight, let us complete our selection of musical pieces with one representing a beginning, as Alundra appreciates the mystery and grandeur of the sea. This piece is Sail Away by Kōhei Tanaka, presented by myself, Mary, Stephen, Bryan, Paul, Mikey G, and Grady Newsom, my nephew.
Yeah.
Sorry to make you guys wait with the long outro there.
No, it was a vibe. I loved that. That was good. That was a vibe. Well, I'm sorry. Someone wanted to say something. Say it.
Hi, I just said I liked that.
Ah,
Thanks,
Thank you.
Andrew.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, friends. Well, unfortunately, this brings us to the end of tonight's program. Wow, what excellent, wonderful music. Lots of lush selections, if you will. Is that a dead joke at this point? Anyway.
Never.
Um so thank you all for coming out here tonight. There are a lot of thank yous to be said. Special thank yous to Nina and Sam and Nick for helping to make this entire production possible tonight. I'd like to thank all of our performers tonight, every single person that was involved. Thank you so much for making this happen for us. It was a lot of fun and it made for a very special experience. And of course, thank you to everybody who came out to listen tonight. It means a lot that you guys were here to help support your peers. And also, thank you to everybody who's watching this on YouTube after the fact, because we really appreciate your views. Everybody's wave hi to the YouTube people. Hi. This would be a great time to encourage our YouTube This would be a great time to encourage our YouTube viewers to check out our Patreon, where you can actually have the opportunity to pay just $2 to come here and hang out with us while we do this. Not just for recitals, but we're also just cool people to hang out with. So pay for our Patreon, get cool friends. It's a fair deal to me. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook if you're looking to see more about us too. Anyway, with that being said, I guess it's time to say goodnight. Thanks again to everybody for making this possible, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Bye, everybody!
Ciao.
Bye.